Good morning, everyone. So nice to be here and be together and get to practice this way together. Um, how many people here is your first time? Your first time here? Ah, it's pretty great. It's a little more than half of you. It's really great. Welcome. Welcome to your temple. Welcome to your Sangha. Yeah, good to finally meet you. My name is Oshin. I'm one of the teachers here at Jikoji Zen Center. Um, I'm deaf, so I read lips and I speak, but I can't hear. So we have a sign language interpreter with us today who will help us with questions and answers later, okay? But if there's anything that I say that you don't understand, it's okay. Give me a little sign, okay? And I can repeat myself or rephrase it, okay? You won't offend me. I know I'm deaf, you know? So you can, what was that? And I can repeat myself, okay? Great. So again, my name is Oshin, and I'm one of the teachers here, but I also lead another Sangha, another community called No Barriers Zen. It's a special little community based online and in person in Baltimore, where I live. I kind of split my time between Jikoji and Baltimore. It's a little bit of a silly commute. So you can complain about how hard it was to drive up this hill. Yeah? You didn't have TSA. I don't know. So I lead this small sangha called No Barriers Zen. And it's kind of a special little sangha because we have a lot of people with differences and disabilities in our sangha. And that's what we practice. We practice that, one big body altogether, just like we're practicing here today. So yes, I want to thank you again also for coming and thank you for your practice because it takes all of us, right? All together practicing. And thank you for your strong practice. Also, thank you for your wobbly practice this morning. Yeah, it was so beautiful, the intention, just to show up and to keep trying at it. And when we fall apart, we build ourselves back up. And we kind of fall apart in the cushion and we build ourselves back up over and over again, just like you were doing, just like I was doing. So I said, thank you very much for your practice and practicing this great way with us, the way, and not to fetishize it, but often we will write that with a capital W, the way. And what are we talking about? Buddhism, always talking about the way. What's the way? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that because sometimes new students are kind of confused about what's this way. And then sometimes students with a lot of experience are kind of confused about what's this way. But sometimes it's like, what's this way? So we have a lot of beautiful teachings that help unpack this. So I hope to use one of these traditional teachings today. I'm going to use a koan. A Zen koan is a teaching story. It's a teaching story that sometimes has a little bit of an enigmatic flavor and a little curious, and the language is a little puzzling sometimes. These aren't normal stories. These are deep, deep psycho-spiritual stories that we can look with. And some of the ancient worthies might have heard or saw some kind of interaction and said, ah, this is good. This is a really good demonstration of this point. I'm going to write this down for future generations. And then we have these beautiful collections, these koan collections that some master in the year 700 or 800 collected and commentated on and even added poems or pointing verses to help us even further along. It was very compassionate, the work of many lifetimes. We also just finished, last week, we finished a week-long meditation intensive we call sesshin. And sesshin is, it means like to touch the mind or to gather the mind. So sometimes we'll say in English, oh, I'm going on a retreat. That sounds very fluffy and nice, you know. And I come here and can be very, sitting all day. It can be a lot, a lot of energy, a lot of focus. So I had a few students recently ask me, okay, you were talking about the way, talking about the way a lot, doing sesshin. Can you unpack that a little bit? So here's our little story. This is from Master Ma Tzu. He said, there's no need to trouble yourself with mastering the way. It's enough if you just take care to keep yourself unstained. We become stained by being overindulgent in life, fearing death, striving, chasing after goals. If you want to grasp the way directly, it's none other than your ordinary mind. So what is Master Ma saying here? Where is this teaching pointing us to? It's saying, if you turn this practice into a kind of thing that you must achieve, a kind of goal, or even something that you're comparing your life against, it will actually have the opposite effect on you. You will stain the way. So there's this beautiful piece of calligraphy by the famous Rinzai Zen master, Hakuin, that shows this monkey. And I wanted to share. I put it was a little small. Unfortunately, Japan wouldn't let me have the real full scroll for the weekend. I just can print it out, a little picture of it. But you might just be able to make out this luminous, uh, delicious, long-limbed monkey. And I'm not talking about myself. Is that helpful? Yeah. Yeah, helpful. What I love about Hakuin's Zenga, his Zen painting here, his teaching for us, is it shows this monkey has really long arms, right? Reaching down, down, down into the water almost, trying to grasp at the reflection of the moon that he sees in the water. When we reach like this. But when you do this, you can actually disturb the surface of the water. Right? And when you touch the surface of the water, there's ripples. And you can no longer see the moon, right? That's staining the moon. Hmm? Of course, there's nothing we can really stain. We can't stain the moon, certainly. But if we aren't careful, we might end up falling in the water. So in this quote, the teacher is saying, okay, if you want to live a good life, you want to be free, right? Go ahead and live an ordinary life. There you go. That's it. And this is one of two of the most famous ordinary mind is the way type koans. And that doesn't mean we go on doing whatever we want. So then how should we direct ourselves? What do we do? So the other famous source of this quote in this koan is from a monk named Joshu, Chao Chu in Chinese. Um, and once when Joshu was not great master Joshu and he was still a student, he asked one of his teachers, Nansen, this. Joshu asked Nansen, "What is the way?" Nansen replied, "It's your ordinary mind." Joshu then said, "So what should I aim for?" Nansen said, "Aiming for it only sets it up further, further away." Joshu then said, "Without aiming for it, how can you know it?" Good question. Nansen replied, "The way has nothing to do with knowing and not knowing. To say that you know it would be a mistake. To say that you don't know it would mean you don't care. When you really attain the way of no aim, then everything will clear up. It'll be like a sky without clouds." And upon hearing this, Joshua became fully awakened to the most deep truth, and his heart shone like a clear, bright moon. I like that. Sometimes we clip that end off. It's a little too flowery for some of us Zen people, but I like that. After hearing this, his heart became fully awakened to the most deep truth, and his heart shone like a clear, bright moon. This is a very liberal translation, maybe, but I love it nonetheless. So this is a little bit of a puzzling exchange, and most koans are like this. They're a little bit fuzzy to us. And they don't really follow this logical discursive mind, this linear thought pattern sometimes with a very hazy. Sometimes it feels like a dance between the teacher and student too. It's very interesting. So I wanted to break down this story a little bit for us. When Joshua is saying, "What is the way?" He's asking because he wants enlightenment. He wants to get something. What's the way? Gimme, gimme. He's reaching and grasping, right? You can feel it in the question. You kind of quiet your mind down a little bit and just receive Joshua's question. You can feel it, as I feel myself reaching the same way. And that's where we connect. He's saying, "What is the way?" He's asking this because it's like he wants enlightenment. And he's trying to skip over the here and now, or where he is. And then, so the teacher's answer is to push back at him and say, "Your ordinary mind is the way." Because that was the medicine that Joshua needed. Right? The teacher is saying, pay attention. Pay attention to the path that you're on. Don't get lost on the trail up the mountain because you're busy looking at the mountaintop. Also, wow, did you notice this beautiful flower by the tree? Did you hear that bird song? Then it sounds like the student is saying, yeah, 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 beautiful birds and all that. But the guidebook says the top of the mountain is, and this kind of breaks down one of the fundamental problems I think we all need to get over when we sincerely start this practice. Because we all start with, I'm stuck, I'm suffering, I'm going to go to the temple and work this out. We all start somewhere like that. So we go out. We go out on a path. We go out looking, right? Now we're seekers on our path. And so the student, Joshua, is saying, okay, I'm trying to get unstuck and I'm on that path. And I can't go on grasping and comparing and getting stuck on my path here. So what is this ordinary mind thing that you're talking about? Basically, his question is saying, can we even go out walking without the goal of walking? Right? You have to have a goal. That's what grasping is. And his teacher, Nonsense, says, you don't need to be holding all this in your head like that. You're making it really hard. Just set out and walk. How about you try that? How about you just try left foot and right foot and remind your body and your feet what the earth is like? How about that? If you're going to go out walking with your teeth clenched like that and your eyes squinting at the top, the walk is going to be really different. Talk about sleepwalking, right? Talk about not being present in our lives, about missing the beautiful things that are all around us. So Nansen replies, stay with this ordinary mind, stay with it. Learn to drop some of these things. Just try walking. You'll find your way. You will. And in fact, if you find yourself getting stuck on grasping, don't immediately replace that grasping with the grasping of, okay, now I need to get back on the path the right way. That's just another layer of grasping. So Joshua then basically says, I don't get it. This is, like tautologies where I don't, how can you walk a path and stay on a path without holding a path is basically his final question. I can relate to that. You can feel how hard he's grasping at it and trying to make it make sense. And it's kind of like the harder he grasps, it's squeezing through his hands or something. It's losing its meaning for him. And he hasn't even taken off on his path yet. He's just in front of his teacher and already he's stumbling around, right? And Joshua has a good point. A path is something you can walk. A path is something you can lose then, right? And then something you can find again and keep walking on. So tell me, is this the path? I just need directions. Where am I supposed to walk? Isn't this the point of my practice? To sit down and work real hard and get enlightened? Why don't you just give me the answer? On the cushion. Okay, maybe I added that last part. That wasn't Joshua's man. And Nonsense final reply is like, drop. Just, just drop. Just stop. Just drop. Drop that thinking. Drop that story. Stop setting up, this is the way and this is not the way. And your sitting practice is the same. Stop using zazen to try and gain something. And then maybe you'll really have it. and then, if you do that, get this. Your sitting is enlightenment. Your zazen right now is the very expression of enlightenment. And then when you walk on the path, It's always the right direction. You'll never be off it. So Nansen closes with this: walk, just walk, continually walk without that aim for something, and you'll see the path much more clearly before you. You won't miss the enlightenment right there at your feet, right in every step. I was thinking about a story. My co-teacher, Nenzan sensei, one of her late teachers, Koan sensei, um, he held up his teaching stick one time and said, "What is this?" What's this very Zen thing to do. What's this? I don't know if he did it that way. He was, "What is it?" But I like this one. "What is this?" And Nenzan was like, "It's your coat. It's your teaching stick." "What is this?" And she goes, "Oh, I get it. It's the whole universe. It's everything, right?" And he's, "What is this?" And she said, "I don't know." He said, "Great. You have no idea what this is. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? To meet something in this open and radical way, to not have a story about it, to be able to drop it and walk into your life with your hands open and your heart unarmed like that." And then that's like what he's saying. You're very zazen. It's just an expression of your enlightenment. Every path you walk on becomes the path. What is this? I don't know. Isn't it great? Oh, I have another story. I'm also a psychotherapist, and I used to work with little children. Um, and I had this child client one time, and we were doing art therapy, right? And the kid straight away she's grabbing the markers and she's off to the races. She's drawing something. Oh, so it's my job to come in and be curious. He said, "Oh, what are you drawing?" "I'm drawing God." I said, You're drawing God? Oh, wow. Okay. I said, what does God look like?" She said, "I don't know. I haven't finished drawing him yet." I was just like, so great. It's so great. I don't know. I haven't walked the path yet. I haven't finished drawing him yet. Don't know. And so what is this? I don't know. Opens a way to us. That's really broad and deep. So we all live in this big, great cloud of unknowing together, right? And this practice, I feel like, helps us through this cloud. Helps us give us a little structure and support through our life. But perhaps you're never going to be out of that cloud of unknowing, because that's what life is, right? And is that okay? Just the same as when encountering anything on your path, can you meet it without your story and just say, "Ah, yes, hello," to this teacher, to this beautiful chance to practice the way. The founder of this temple, Kobun Chino Tagawa Roshi, Kobun, we just call him Kobun, very intimate. Just call me Kobun. No titles, humble. Kobun said it like this: when you meet one little being, it might be a mosquito, it might be a pine tree or a rock. To become a Buddha with each of them is your practice. Do you understand? You become a Buddha with each of them. We become a Buddha with each of them. And we meet it. In Zen, at the end of our meals, there's a chant. And for those of you who are with us um, during the retreat, during the session, you'll know this chant quite well because it's after all the meals. But there's a line at the end that says, "May we exist in muddy waters with purity like a lotus. May we exist in muddy waters with purity like a lotus." Well, some of you may know Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah. Thich Nhat Hanh, I think, expressed the same thing this way. No mud, no lotus. Yeah. So we understand that the lotus blooms up from the mud. Right? You see? And all the time we're like, no, no mud. No, can't have it. May we exist in muddy waters with purity like a lotus. This kind of gets us back to this theme of stained and unstained with purity like a lotus. Hmm. I think the muddy waters of our tangled up lives, muddy waters of our minds, that's where the lotus blooms up from. We aren't ridding ourselves of anything. We aren't trying to get rid of parts of myself. We just recognize all of it. This mud, this muddy guy, and some other mud on top, and some of your mud, sure. It's all right here in our lives, is what I'm saying. The way, the enlightenment, the awakening. But trying to keep ourselves too pure will stain it too. Like trying to keep an ordinary mind sometimes. But it's all stain. It's all mud. Hmm. So each koan typically has a verse or a poem at the end. And part of this verse says, "The spring comes with flowers, autumn with the moon, summer with the breeze, winter with snow." It's the expression of enlightenment right here. Spring comes with its flower, autumn with the moon, summer with breezes, winter with snow. When useless things don't hang in your mind, that's your best season. Another translation is, then every season is your spring. Spring has flowers. Autumn has the moon. Summer with its breezes. Sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I'm crying. Sometimes we hold hands. Sometimes we meet for coffee. Summer breeze, winter snow. When useless things don't hang in your mind, this is your best season. It's the way. It's just open to you all the time. Each season, each stage of our life, each stage of our practice, if you want to look at it that way. But really, it's each moment with our mind. Maybe each sitting period. You can feel spring, summer, fall, winter in the sitting period sometimes. Often in our own experience, we may feel that sitting only brings us questions instead of answers. But if you settle on an answer and you feel that that is the end of your questioning, that's not so good. You find you have to let go of vigorous effort to maintain purity, because with purity, dry simplicity comes, where there is almost no life. You become a closed system, says Corbin. You become all blocked off. In that closed system, when noise or chaotic situation comes, you try to block it off. In other words, a cushion can be very soft at first, but it gets harder and harder. Maybe you need a better cushion. Instead, you remember your bodhisattva nature, and over again, you plunge into the suffering of the world without hesitation. So when we look into this dialectic of yes and no, and purity and stained, and we have to go beyond it, is what he's saying. We have to go beyond right and wrong. We have to go beyond them. We have to solve the dilemma of these two truths. Buddha's sitting is beyond pure and impure. It's beyond holy and unholy. It's not something we understand. It's indescribable. If you explain it, it becomes something that you don't know. And yet, when you're experiencing sitting with all of us, that understanding is here with you. That great quote from the founder of this temple. I want to turn back to this monkey picture by Hakuin, only because I relate with it so. But throughout Hakuin's lifetime, he painted this motif many times. And we have several of them extant. We still have a couple of them that exist. We have this really big, beautiful, long, extra long one, which is I think the most famous one. Just the slightest ripple in the water. It's really beautiful. But there's this another one that I really like too. It's just a different one that he painted. The colophon for this one said he painted this at the young age of his 60s, and his young 60s. Gives me some time, huh? Not so much pressure. The Zen masters take a long time to mature, right? So yeah, really beautiful, soft little face on this monkey. And I'll just end with the poem that he inscribed on top. Hakuin's poem says, the monkey is reaching for the moon in the water until death overtakes him. He'll never give up. If he'd let go the branch and disappear into the pool, the whole world would shine with dazzling pureness.